Well, good evening, and thank you for joining Dr. C. Rochelle Ministries, where ministry happens. Welcome to our Friday night power inspiration. Women who rise to soar, women who reach to inspire somebody else to reach their fullest potential. I am so glad tonight. Yes, come on in. Listen, I'm so glad tonight. We have a very special guest with us tonight, and I'm just excited about getting this program started tonight. Listen, don't you tell me God ain't good, because God is an awesome God and He's worthy to be praised. Whatever I'm involved in, I want God to get the glory. So, yes, my guest is here tonight, and she is pumped and ready to go. Listen, Teresa, while the people are coming in, I'm just going to chit chat because I know somebody's going to chime in. How are you tonight?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Man, I'm so amazing. I'm just so amazing. God is so amazing. He's been so good to me. I've been running all day today, work, ministry, work, that.
I
So,
know.
man, I'm telling you, it is never a dull day. And I was just telling somebody a few minutes ago that I am just happy because ain't nobody mad about what's going on but the devil.
Say that.
Ain't
Say that.
nobody mad but the devil. We got to keep on keeping on. We got to keep on running because, listen, I told somebody else, I don't have to run on to see what the end is going to be. I already know what the end is going to be because I'm running this race with patience. Yes. Come on in. Thank you, Yvonne, for
Absolutely.
chiming in tonight. So glad you're with us. Rose is back.
Hey,
Teresa
Rose.
Rose is back. Good evening, Deborah. Oh, bless you, honey. Thank you all so much. While you're coming in, just go ahead on and share this out as we get ready to get started with this evening Empower Inspiration. Come on in, everybody. Share it out. I hope you're at Dr. C. Rochelle Ministries, where ministry happens. Come on in, share, share, share. But I'm not going to belabor the time because Teresa, uh, you got a lot to say. And I I want the people to hear you, and I want people to leave being blessed by what they hear, empowered by what they hear, inspired by what they hear. And I know, good evening, Lynette. How are you? They coming in. Y'all come on in. I see y'all coming in. Click that like and that share button, you all. As Lady Elise always say, it's about to go down. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Yes. So listen, uh, while they're coming in, Coach T, just tell us who Coach T Strong Myrick is. Who is this smiling, beautiful woman that I see in front of us tonight?
So, that's always a loaded question for me because there's so many parts to my story, right? Last night, I shared the beginning of that story and how I came up and how there was a bit of domestic violence. There was some sexual molestation. I talked about how I learned from those, came to learn about myself, that my voice wasn't important. And that was because no one took me seriously. When I reported that I had been molested, I wasn't believed. And when I was in the home where there was domestic violence, my stepfather never spoke to me. In
Oof.
10 years, he told my mom one time to tell that girl to go, and he was Geechee, tell that girl to go and run my bathwater. So
Ooh.
so that taught me some things. I came to believe things about myself that were not true. But all along, Lord was whispering to me just from hearing different people speak. He was telling me, you're going to tell your story. You're going to tell your story. And, and now I'm at the point where I am. But how I got here was I had a whole breakdown where I had to really go inward and figure stuff out for me and how I fit into this world. And I had to do a lot of inner work, to get to this point where I'm able to speak about what happened without the shame, the blame, or any of that, and just tell it like it is, because it is my history. It is part of my story. It is why I'm so strong right now. So we can't discount those stories. We have to learn how to stand on them and allow them to empower us. So at this point, I am a former police officer, victim advocate, child and family counselor. I'm currently a neurotransformational life coach, a best-selling author, and a speaker. So that's where I am now.
Whew. But the journey to get here, I
The journey,
declare,
though.
the journey though. And listen, I that's why it's important for us to understand who we are and understand whose we are when we come to the knowledge. But you said something on last night about the suppressed voices. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want you to talk a little bit about the suppressed voice.
And and I know we're here today to talk about grief, right?
Yep.
And where I learned to suppress all my emotion was because of my past. It wasn't acceptable for me to say how I felt. And because I had the experience of no one believing me, now that has further compounded the fact that I'm going to suppress everything, because I need now to make sure that I don't bring any attention to myself, nor do I cause any discomfort or any, raise any hairs in the family. I have to be quiet now. So I
Mm.
suppress all my emotions. From I wouldn't laugh out loud, I would not speak loudly, I would not cry. Yeah, I spent years not crying. I had no emotions. I really didn't even have a personality, because I spent so many years trying to appease everyone else around me and not bring attention to myself, because the attention that was garnered towards me was negative. It brought violence, it brought molestation. So I was trying to disappear.
So how do you get to love? My God. How do we how does how did Teresa, not Coach T, how did Teresa get to love? And then we're going to get into the topic. But how did
Well,
Teresa get to love?
um, as we touched on last night, I had to be courageous enough to go back and touch. I had to go back and touch the trauma from my past, because that was the only way for me to heal from it. I couldn't continue to suppress it, ignore it, act like it wasn't there, and deal with it. Those two things just don't go together. As uncomfortable as it was, because I was in college when I first had to tell the story about what happened to me, because I decided I wanted to be a social worker. And if you're going to be a social worker, guess what? You have
Ooh,
to deal with your stuff too.
wow.
So I had an assignment where I had to write out what they call a psychosocial history, which was my story. That's the first time I told everything. I was a mess. I was a mess. I was crying and just not running and everything. And that professor said, babe, in order for you to help anybody else, you're going to have to help yourself. That led me to
Wow.
counseling. That
Wow.
led me to my first counseling session.
Wow.
And to make a long story short, I finally, after dabbing into counseling, playing around with spirituality, because I wasn't serious. I was too scared. And we'll talk about that, I'm sure. I was too scared to do spiritual. I wasn't good enough to be, loved by God. So
Mm.
therefore, um, after I finally reconciled the spiritual part of it, I ended up in a church family that had a life recovery program. And in that
Mm.
life recovery program, they allowed me to be Christian and broken.
Woo, come on.
They
To
allowed
be
me, they
Christian.
gave me permission to be a broken Christian. They gave me
Wow.
permission to have unhealed places in my heart and still
Jesus.
be loved by God. That's how we got here. That was the beginning. That was the catalyst for that cancel. That right there just sprung us into me getting here. But I
Wow.
had to know that I could still be loved by God. Because, I didn't grow up in the church, but spirituality was a big thing in our family.
Mm.
And I always thought that I had to be perfect in order to be a Christian. I had to be perfect first before I could step into, into the church, because I had lived with hearing all the judgment, the negative judgment of other people in the church. And I would feel like, well, I guess you got to be perfect.
Wow. Listen, you all, do me a favor and share this. Share. It's gonna get real good here in a minute. It's already good. But listen, please, you all, do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Please, please share this out right now. If you got questions, please load those questions up. We'll ask those questions of Coach T. But listen, Coach T, I want to get back. I want to get back to. I want to get to the other reason why we're here tonight. Listen, Evangelist Rose said you need to say it again. Uh, Teresa, I just want to ask you. I know you've suffered great losses in your family. Your husband passed away, whom you love dearly, and he
Yes,
loved you.
yes.
And then you had was your mom to pass
My
away.
mom passed. Yes.
Whew, what was your question to God? And what did God say to you when you asked him about those losses? Or did you?
So this is what I find interesting, because I've been in the work of dealing with Teresa and Teresa stuff. I think at this point I'm handling things different. I handle things differently, because when I was 26 and lost my brother and had to grieve him, I suppressed and I didn't deal with it.
Mhm.
So when it came to this time around, when this happened, I said to myself, I'm going to allow myself to go through the process of grief, whatever that looks like and feels like. And what I realized is that I had been grieving my mom for a long time, because I saw her deteriorating. And it's before she had any diagnosis. I saw her deteriorating just with age, and just her body, and just her slowing down. So I recognized that I had already been mourning the mom that I knew, that we could go shop for hours, we can go hang out, we take road trips, we get hungry at the same time, got used to restroom at the same time. We were just so in, because I'm the only girl and the oldest, it was only two of us. So we were really close. So I started mourning her before. With my husband, he had had 3 strokes prior to. So we got married in 2007. In 2010, he had a major stroke. So
Wow.
I've been grieving the version of him that I married for a long time.
Mm,
So
wow.
it didn't just start. And I think that's something we kind of look over when when we're going through life. We don't just grieve a sudden loss. We don't just grieve death. We grieve people changing and becoming
Oh,
somebody different,
yes.
you know?
Wow. I never thought about it like that. I don't know if any of you who are listening, I've never thought about grieving the initial version of a person once sickness happens or once something occurred when they're no longer that person that you married. Or I never ever thought of it that way. But Teresa, my question, another question I want to ask, and I think you kind of answered one of these other questions because I do have my notes, y'all. Yes, yes, Zena, Zade, that was very powerful statement that she just made. During your experiences dealing with the losses and the grief that come along with it, uh, can you share with us if there was a God moment in this process? Was there a God moment? And what did that look like?
And again, I feel like God was so, because all this happened in 2020 with COVID. So my mom got sick, and she started her health started failing in early May, and she passed in June.
Mm,
So this was all during COVID. So everything we were doing with her, going back and forth into the hospital and to the doctor, these was all COVID restrictions. There were a couple of God moments, but one in particular is she was able to come home and be at the house with hospice
mm,
for some time. So it gave time for the family to come and visit, the friends to come and visit, following, precautions and everything. But it wasn't a sudden thing. So that to me was he put his hand all over her situation anyway.
come
But
on.
that right there in the midst of what was going on, that she was still able, because we kept hearing about people, they couldn't say goodbye to their loved ones, and so many things were going on, that
Yeah.
I thought that was a moment where he just truly intervened and put her at home, because he knew my mama. My mama had worked in the medical field for a long time, and she did
Hmm.
not want to leave. She did not want to die in the hospital. She absolutely did not.
Wow.
Absolutely did not.
I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine. I Teresa is just so strong. Her last name is strong, but she's just so strong. And I can understand why now, because of the process that you went through and allowed yourself to go through to get to the healing version of Teresa, the healed
Right.
version of Teresa. And
Right.
so um, I just want to ask you this, you know, um, let me see, Teresa, what makes Teresa strong or not so strong in moments when Teresa is strong or not so strong? And is there ever a time when you said, I'm tired of being strong? What happened?
Now this is a loaded question for me, right?
Come on, talk to me.
This is
Talk
a
to,
loaded question for me.
talk to
So
me.
the version of strong that I came to understand
Uh-huh.
was me not showing any emotion, any emotion. That was me standing there acting like I can handle everything. That was me not asking for help. That was me suffering and stressed out and and overwhelmed and not telling anybody, because
Come
I
on.
needed to look like I was strong. If I ask for some help, then that means that I'm not strong. That's the
Oh,
old version of strong that I used to live by.
do y'all hear that? And guess what? There are so many of us living that moment right now, even 2021, because we
Absolutely.
haven't gotten to Tasha, the other strong yet. Because many of us grew up thinking that being strong was keeping it to yourself. Don't
Yes.
tell nobody else,
Mm-hmm.
right? Don't
Right.
don't don't let the cat out the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Save face for the family. Be
Mm-hmm.
strong. You strong. Man, when strong kills you,
It
that's when you
absolutely.
need to release strong.
Girl, that's a
Because
silent killer. It's a silent killer. Because you are
strong can
miserable.
kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Right where you are, strong can kill. We got all of these family secrets, Teresa. And I know we're talking about grief. And many of
Yeah.
us are grieving right where we are, right?
Yeah.
Because we're silent. What happens, Teresa, when I can't find my voice because I've been silent? I've been suffering in silence for all these years. Teresa, coach, help us out.
Uh, you
There's a
have
question,
to.
and then there's a question here for you as well. Go ahead.
So I'm going to say this first. You have to start by figuring out how to forgive yourself. How to for
Zane, listen to what coach is saying to you, because this young lady says, Teresa, sorry to cut you off.
Go
She
ahead.
said being silent has already killed her.
Mm.
Speak
Baby,
to it.
you're still here, so you're not gone yet. You're
Speak to it.
still here. But what you're feeling is that you have lost yourself in yourself, because you haven't felt or haven't been given the permission to just be you. And you know what? And I also understand that you probably don't even know who you are right now. You probably don't
Speak.
even know who that is. I'm telling y'all, for a long time, I did not know my favorite color, my favorite things to do. I had, I had none of that. I had to really get serious about healing
Man,
that inner portion of me, healing that young girl who never got to be a young girl, that who never got to be a little kid, who was, violated so early on. I had to get to know who she was beyond that hurt, beyond that pain. And I had to get to a point, y'all, where I said, I'm gonna get this healing no matter what. No matter what people think, what they feel, I have to get this healing for me, because see, if you don't deal with you, nobody else will.
come on.
No one else is going to come and
Ooh.
heal you. No one else is going to come and rescue you. How are they going to rescue you when you won't even tell what's going on with you? You won't admit to
Ooh.
the stuff that's happened. So
Ooh.
you can't get help from somebody else when you haven't gone internally. Y'all,
Let me tell you, somebody just said here that Rose says, I realized that I've been grieving for many, many years about the life and family I did not have growing up. Is there anything you can say to that?
what I can say is that was beyond your control. That was beyond your control. There is, let me tell y'all this. I say this and I mean this. There is strength in everything that you've gone through. There is a positive, there's something you can garner from everything that you have gone through. And I'm gonna give you this example. For a long time, I would tell this story about how my father died. My father was murdered by his best friend. His best friend slit his throat with a razor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, yeah, it's just that raw,
Ooh.
right?
Ooh.
And my coach, when I decided to get my healing, my coach said to me, "I want you to retell that story with a positive a positive spin." And I looked at him and said, "How in the world can that be positive? What are you talking about? There's no
Mm.
way that can be positive." I was kind of ticked off. And then when I got into it, because I'm coachable, coachable, I want my healing, and he's the expert. So I said, "Okay, let me see." And what I came up with, because the other part of that is that my mother got there in time, so he died in her arms.
Oh, girl, I'm about to cry. Whoa.
So the twist. So this is what I got from that. He
Jesus.
he he was attacked in anger, but he died in love. He
Oh,
died in
got you.
love, right? Because he could have
Yes.
died any other way. He could have been on the street. He could have been dumped somewhere. Any other thing could have happened to him. But the way I had to twist that thing was, although he was tagged with the anger of his best friend, he died in his woman, his love, the love of his life. He died in her arms. He didn't die by himself. So there
Wow.
is something you can get from every situation. It is not lost. You didn't go through that for nothing. But what we cannot do is continue to dwell on the negative part of that. There's so much positive from our lives that we don't pay attention to. We give so much credence to the negative and not enough on the blessings. Go back and find them blessings.
Ooh, wow. Man, Teresa, that's powerful. I mean, literally, for someone to walk you through to understand, to say, okay, your father was murdered by his best friend, but he died in the person's arms whom he loved the most, your mother.
Mhm.
Wow, that's amazing. Here's a question. It says, what is the first thing you tell someone when you are coaching them through their life's challenges? What is the first thing you tell somebody when you're coaching them through their life challenges?
I generally ask questions. I always see, the way I coach is, we don't go back and just go through your past just to go through your past. We deal with what's going on with you right now. So, because all of that stuff isn't affecting you now, but some things are. So, there are some habits, some things that are getting in the, there's some things that are out of control in your life, and we start there. So, I ask you, what is going well and what is not. I have you rate your the satisfaction with your life, and we start there. And what we do is we deal with what comes up for that day in that moment, and then if it traces back to something in your past, then we deal with it. But I don't have you just go back and touch stuff for no reason.
Gotcha. So there is almost like what you said last night, that in order to heal, we got to touch the point of the pain.
Yes,
Ah,
yes, we do.
ooh, we got to go do those touch points. Oh my
Right.
God.
And the
Because
thing is to, I'm sorry, the thing
go
is
ahead.
to go through that with support. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell anybody to go back and go and start write a history of everything that done happened in their lives. I'm not telling you to do that, but I
Mhm.
am telling you to look at your life to see what is out of control and start to backtrack that, because that has a source.
That's
That
right.
has a source.
That's that touch point. That's that
Yes,
point of pain.
yes,
That's the source of where the pain is coming
yes.
from. Because
Hmm.
being in the school system, a lot of our children would lash out. They're not lashing out at you or me because they're mad at me, but is there's something else underlying
Hmm.
that the reason
It's
why.
something that's triggering.
Yes, and that's an important word to remember. Triggers, those triggers. And Teresa, I declare, man, I see you in a whole different light now. I mean, I don't really know Teresa. My God, now I'm getting to know who Teresa really is, and I'm understanding Coach Myrick even better. You know, and so
Yeah.
Teresa, all that you've gone through, what made you different? Like, why Teresa? Like, after going through this process of healing and restoration and getting to know Coach T, getting to know Teresa and touching Teresa to Coach T. Why Teresa? Why do you think? I mean,
You know
come on,
what? I like this question because I ask this question of God sometimes, and I say, what made me so special that you allow me to touch people in this way? What is it about me? And I really am, because I don't want people to think there's something special about me, because then they think that they can't get here. What this is, I am special to those who can relate to my story,
come on.
because everybody's not going to relate to my story. Everyone's not going to think I'm special, and that's okay with me. But for the people who need to know that they can be molested and get over it, that they can come through growing up in a home that was dysfunctional and that had violence, and get through it and get to a place of peace and strength, I'm for those people. And that's what makes me special, because those folks, they're going to hear me. They know my language. They know that I can relate to them. They know that I can help them get through it.
Wow. Listen, I'm asking you again if you all would just help me to just click that like and that share button and help me spread this, so when somebody else come on, they'll have access to this powerful message. I don't know about you all, but this is blessing even me. I am being blessed by this conversation tonight. When you see Teresa, if you all would ever see Teresa, Coach T, Teresa, she's very humble, very mild mannered. You would never ever know that she went through all of the pain and the grief and the sorrow that she went through. And so that's why I'm glad, Teresa, that you decided to come here with me tonight. I just want to, I think you kind of talked about this. Well, let me just go to this one. As a successful businesswoman, author, life coach, great mom and wife. She has a beautiful, tall son, y'all. He looked like he ought to be a professional basketball player or something. Was there ever a time your losses made you feel like giving up? Your grief make you feel like giving up? Why or why not? And how did you overcome this urge, if it ever happened, to give up?
Girl, I have had that. And it comes as a fleeting little thought that says, why are you doing all this? Who's going to listen to you? what makes you so special? You know, and then I have to step into, I have conversations with myself, y'all.
Talk, come on,
And,
girl. Yes.
I teach folks to get in the mirror, because see, this is what we do. We pump other people up so well, but we would allow those little thoughts, those little nagging thoughts to come and put down in our heads, and then we just fall all into it. I have to get up and say, girl, I have to look at the evidence. Look at the evidence of your greatness, baby.
Come
Look at the
on.
evidence of who you are, what you have gone through, who you have touched, the children you have raised, the things that you have gone through that got you here. You have done some things. You didn't just get here by happenstance. You have been through some things. So you have to recall, get in the mirror and say, no, that is not, because see, I know that I have touched people. I know people have read my book and said, girl, this right here saved my life. This right here is what's keeping me going. I have to remind myself that I'm doing God's work. Finally, I have
Finally.
figured out what I'm doing and what he's purposed me for, and
Come
I'm
on.
doing it. So I have to remind myself of the evidence that I'm here for a reason. I have to remind myself. So that's why, and I get this passionate about it in the mirror.
Come on. Do y'all hear that? Recall the evidence. My God. Yvonne, do you all hear what Coach TJ? Recall the evidence. Evangelist Rose, recall the evidence. It's there. The tree is known by the fruit it bears. That's the word of God. Recall the fruit, Lord Jesus. And I'm telling you, Coach T, you helping me tonight. You helping a sister out tonight. My God, today. If this is helping any of you, I just need y'all to just say something in the chat. Just put a comment, something in the chat. Let me know that you're enjoying this. Yes, Yvonne, we are living witnesses to our own greatness.
We are.
Teresa,
We
how
are.
should I feel if somebody tells me you talk too much when I'm talking about my own greatness? What? What do I
See
do,
now,
Teresa?
see, this is the thing right here. If you feel some kind of way about that, that means that you kind of believe that. If you start to feel a little like salty about that, check yourself, because that means that your self-talk has been saying something like that. You recognize that voice. So what
Ooh.
you have to do is really get in the mirror, write down some affirmations, and continue to tell yourself who you are. Remind yourself who you are in God's eyes, who you are in the things that you have to remind yourself, because see, we can have, I don't know how many thousands of thoughts a day, but believe me, like 80-90% of those are negative. So we have to work extra hard on the positive. We have
Mm.
to work extra hard. We have to be diligent and purposeful about speaking life into ourselves.
Do y'all hear that? Yes, Rose say, she's saying it again. You are so needed. Yes,
Oh, thank you.
yes. Yvonne says, come on now. I can hear Yvonne saying that in my mind's eye. I can hear her saying it. Come on now. Yes, I can hear her. She said, you're so correct. This young lady, she said, she said, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't know if it's Zane or Zine Thema. She said, thank you. You have really helped me. And she said
Oh,
that her dad died, and I think she's kind of been blaming herself. Yeah, she said, I lost my dad a year ago, and I fought myself because he was in a nursing home. Wow. So it
wow.
sounds like she's still grieving over
Right.
that. Yeah, so say something to that.
So, there's just some things we can't control. And when we have to put a loved one into a nursing home, and especially when we have always been there to help them and do things, it is hard for us to let go. It's hard for us to let go, and then to let go of the responsibility. It
Yes.
really is. But there's just some things that you just can't control. So, none, my thing I always say to myself is that, first of all, God doesn't make mistakes. The
Come
second
on.
is, nothing happens that he does not allow. Nothing happens that he does not allow. For some reason, that had to happen like that. And that is not saying anything about you and your situation, your circumstance. It just is.
It
And,
just
and and
is.
now that it's in the past, you can continue to live in that past and feel the sorrow of that, or you can find the positive in that. Because I guarantee you, there's some positive in that as well. Because when we have I'm speaking from some serious experience, because my mom passed of cancer, and she slowly deteriorated in front of me. And let me tell y'all one thing: I am non-medical. I can do a lot of things, but I am non-medical. But I had to put the gloves on. I had to turn my mom. I had to clean my mom. I had to do all that physical work with her because she wanted to be at home. Now, that was some hard work, y'all.
Come on.
That was some hard and difficult work, because I maybe had like 2-3 hours of sleep a day, because that would happen throughout the night.
Wow.
So so you have to be careful what you ask for, because there is a positive and a negative in everything. So I can sit here and really be like, oh my gosh, my back was hurt. I could complain about that. Or I can be so grateful, as I am, that she was able to be home, that I was able to have those last conversations with her, right? Or because your father was in a nursing home, he was getting the care that he needed that you may not have been able to give him at home.
Wow. Bettina, thank you for joining us. Bettina said, speak coach. She said, I'm doing it now and it is very challenging. Bettina is taking care of her mother.
Yeah,
And she's shared with me some of the things that she has to go through in taking care of her senior mother. Not putting
y'all.
her, yeah,
I had to get look. My mama, my mama was hilarious. First of all, but I had to give her a enema, y'all. I'm just gonna tell y'all, that was like I had a whole unit on my face, and she looked up at me and she said, "Oh, you mad for real?"
Yvonne said Yvonne said, I did the same thing with my dad, but he would not let me change him. I guess he did everything. He wouldn't let her change him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for
Yeah, they're
joining us,
fine.
Jabari. Yes, you all please share and like this as we're getting down to the wire here. Coach T, let me ask this. Um, you've I think you spoke a little bit to it. You said when you got to college about seeking professional help, and how did seeking, because a lot of us are, because I wanted you to speak a little bit more to this. A lot of us don't seek professional help. You know,
And I know it's a stigma around it, and I truly, excuse me, I truly understand it and get it. But you not getting help, how's that working for you?
come
That's
on.
all I can really say. How is it working for you? You are doing this. You have gotten yourself as far as you can take you. Now, if you don't do anything new, anything different, you're going to continue to repeat the same cycle, and you probably have.
Mm,
So at some point, you have to get tired enough of yourself to go get the help that you need. Or otherwise, you stay stuck.
wow.
You stay
Gloria,
stuck in the misery, and I just want to say, we get comfortable in that misery. So once you understand that the discomfort of change is more beneficial to you than sitting in the misery, then you'll make changes.
wow. Gloria Wilson, I did see you come in early on. Thank you for joining us. She said, thanks, Coach Strong. Um,
You're welcome.
yes. So listen, I want to get down to this last part here because this is a part that people can learn a little bit more about what you do and why you do what you do. You've Deborah Shields, thank you so much for being here. You've written and released a brand new book entitled Unstrong. Can you
Yes.
walk us through the process of writing this book and then tell us how we can get the book, the t-shirt, the journal, or we can get the whole bundle? Like, how can we get it? Just tell us a little bit about that process. Why Unstrong?
So this project is very dear to me. This project only could have come after the passing of my mom and my husband, because it was because of the journey, how it happened, the fact that they went so closely together. It challenged everything I knew about being strong. And I continuously had people saying, "Oh, you're so strong," or "Be strong." And you know how you hear all those things after someone dies.
Hmm.
And I was frustrated with that, because I kept saying, if this outward appearance is your definition of what strong is, then you have it all wrong. Because see,
Mm.
I have been in here crying. I have been up in here tearing up this house. I have been questioning everything. I have been missing my mom, my husband. I have let go some bills. I have not cooked. There are some things going on, right? But you look at me and you say I'm strong because I put on a good face, right? And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be happy some days and sad others. Because I'm mourning doesn't mean that I'm not going to have happy days. So I had all this stuff going on with me. And I'm telling you, this book was just a download from the Lord, because I knew I was going to write another book, but I didn't know what the concept would be. And I was just sitting there one day and I'm going through this battle. I had done some lives about, telling people, grieve the way you need to grieve. Stop grieving the way people think you should be. Don't let people question your process. Don't let them tell you that you grieved long enough, because there's no time on this. And don't let them tell you that you go through these steps in order, because you go through these steps in order, in disorder. You go through all of them at one time. Sometimes you go through them all on the same day. Just allow yourself, give yourself permission to feel what you need to feel. Now, if it gets too deep, go get you some help.
Yes.
That's what the people are there for. So the book came out of that battle I was having with strong, and it just came to me unstrong. And with unstrong, every letter has a meaning, and that's how the book is designed. So what we do is redefine what strong is, and we build the strength from the inside out, because that's the only way I'm here now, because I have an inner strength. That inner strength is not dictated by what people think, feel, or tell me I should be doing. That inner strength is built in, and it is with me at all times. It's that joy that goes along with it that I can tap into no matter what's going on. That's the kind of stuff we talk about in the Unstrong book. It's Unstrong, 6 ways to build your self-love muscle.
Oh,
Leave
I
your
like
cape at
that.
the door. Leave your cape at the door, friend. It's for all the folks who would be called strong friends, the ones who have everything together. They're never too emotional. They're calm. They handle all the business. They do all that stuff, and y'all
Uh,
never see them break down. Y'all never see them angry. Now y'all know that's inhuman. We don't. Ain't nobody that perfect. Nobody's that perfect. So this is
ooh.
giving them permission, because what I've heard is strong friends say, I'm always there for other people, but there's no one there for me. That's what this movement is about. So there's a book, there's a journal, because
I'm
the
gonna
journal takes you through the whole process.
I'm gonna cover us so you can talk about the book and the journal. So they'll see this.
Oh, awesome. Look at you. You so fancy.
Yeah, well, let's start. That's on strong. That's right. That's unstrong right there.
Yes. So Unstrong is the journey of you peeling back the layers of who you really are. It is discovering what your real strength is and building upon that. It is you saying that strength is also asking for help and accepting help. That's one of the lessons I learned with my mom and my husband passing. I had to have help. I had to ask for help. I had to receive help. I had to be thankful. And, I could not do it on my own. And that was one of those lessons. So this book is all of that.
All right. So Teresa, tell us how we can get this bundle, honey.
So you can get the book, the journal, and the t-shirt. The journal is everything, y'all. It's everything to take you through the whole 6 week process of getting through and understanding what the unstrong process is. You can get it at my website, on my website at mightystrongnetwork.com.
Wait a
And
minute. Wait. My T strong.
so it's mighty as in MYT.
I got it.
MYT strong network.com.
Network.com. All right. I just put it out there for everybody to get. Okay. Yeah, because Jabari said, where is the book?
Yeah, so the book is in pre-order status. If you get your order in between today and tomorrow, then the mail out will go out next week, so you'll have it by the end of the month. So get your orders in.
She
Get
done
your
already.
orders in.
She done threatened me already. I've been threatened. Get the book, get your order in, Carol, cause this order getting ready to go out. And I know you all know this. Let me put this back up here. That Teresa is an international #1 international best-selling author. All right. So the girl got some good stuff. I can't wait to get I'm getting the bundle. I tried to get in on the unveiling and I
Yes,
missed it going
yes.
to Georgia and forgot I was already in Eastern time zone. See, and so I missed the whole thing. And I didn't get a chance to win it for free.
That's okay. That's okay. And
No,
that first book, and I just want to say that first book is actually based on my story, and it's actually called Attacked in Anger, Died in Love.
that what happened to your dad.
Yes,
Oh,
that's the whole story. That's the how Teresa started on this in this journey.
okay. And so is that also in the T My Strong
Yeah,
Network?
that's also on the website. Yes, that's also
Okay,
there too. Yes.
good. All right. So the bundle is the journal, the book, and the T-shirt, correct?
Yes, it is. That's the all of that bundle. Then you have the working bundle, which is just the book and the journal. You can get that as well, or you can just get the book.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see what's going on down here. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining in, Bettina. Thank you for coming in, gracing us with your presence. Rose says she's getting the bundle, baby. She's getting the whole
Yes.
thing.
All right, Rose, come on through. Come on
Yes.
through.
If you want to get it within this month, please go and order your book today or tonight. Here's the pastor that I'm going to be speaking for on Sunday in
Awesome.
Kenya. Blessings,
Oh, nice.
Pastor Okimwa. Thank you for coming in. So, yes, everybody, Teresa, thank you so much, honey. This has been a blessing to me. I I have been helped tonight. My sister is also on here. She lost her daughter at the age of
Uh,
7 with liver cancer. And I'm telling you, when I think of strong, you all, the both of you are some strong women. I'm telling you. And so I appreciate you taking the time to come on here and just share with us because just as the young lady was saying a few minutes ago, you're helping us one at a time, but you're helping us. And we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and be with us tonight. If y'all have enjoyed Coach T, just come on and put some hand claps or something in this chat before I get ready to get off of here. And Teresa, while we're doing that, I just want to know if you have any last things that you like to say to us. Yes. Let's see what's being said. Rose said, let's see, let me get to it. Teresa, you've touched her deeply. Thank God
um,
for you. Jabari, Queen Rosemary, thank you for coming in. All of these hand claps are going up for
um,
this. My sister Audrey, thank you for joining us tonight. Listen, thank all of you for joining us. Y'all go to that Mighty Strong Network and let's order this book tonight. This will be so great if we would just support. It's okay, Jabari, you made it. He say he's so sorry he was late. But
It's okay.
but that's okay. It's all right. Teresa, is there anything you'd like to share with us before we
I
get ready to log out of here?
I just want to say thank you. I always appreciate the opportunity to share. I really, really do. It's nothing I like more than sharing, coaching, and helping people through this process because I know that when people hear, because this is how I got here, I heard someone tell their story and it inspired me. So it's just my honor to be able to share what I've gone through to help somebody else, to give them hope, inspiration, to let them know that girl, don't give up, man, don't give up. You can make it through this, but you do have to learn how to put yourself first. Take care of you. My
A lot of
saying
us
that I
have.
say all the time is be good to you so that you can be good to others.
Yes. Wow. Vicky, who was our speaker on last week, she said she enjoyed you immensely.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Vicky took us out the gate, honey, last week. Let me tell you, teaching us how to soar in the kingdom as women and men of God. And then Deborah Shields said, "You're saying a lot." She said, "Thank you so much." So yes, listen, I just want to show this one more time so you know you're at the right website. If you see Teresa Strong Myrick,
Yeah.
Coach Teresa, you know if I typed it in there right, this is what you will see. All right, let's go and buy this book and this bundle tonight. If you buy a book about the church shirt, about the journal, buy something. But if you don't get it all, get something, okay? Um, Teresa, again, thank you. And let me see. Yes, thank you all so much. I look forward to being with the next person on next Friday night. And when I tell you that the stories get deeper and deeper next week, this young woman is going to take us through. I probably won't get a chance to talk at all next week because she's going to carry us through. I mean, you talk about the power of God and being able to rise. Teresa touched on domestic violence that she saw in her home as a child. But Nicole, who's also from Tampa Bay, she's from Tampa Bay, Florida, she has a story that is sure to encourage any of us who are struggling to get up. Any woman, any man, you talking about guns being pulled, you talking about being beaten down to the point of almost no return. But God, let me tell you how this woman has risen in the Lord. And you're going to want to be back here on next Friday night. You all share this out. And so God bless you. Oh, you said you done bought your bundle already? All right.
See them in there. Yes.
Yeah, that's Tasha. She the one that won, ain't it? Ain't
Oh
that
no, she wasn't one of the ones who won.
she ain't one of the ones? Tasha, oh, that ain't her. Okay,
No,
somebody won. I was about to, how you get your book already? Uh, she said, I have enjoyed listening to this. You always have such encouraging words for your friends. Love you, girl. So that's Tasha Humans.
yeah, Tashia Humans, yes, one of my good best friends.
Okay, Tasha Humans.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Did I type it wrong? MyTStrongNetwork.com.
I just put in there again just to make sure.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. No, not Amazon. Right? No, it's not Amazon. Is it,
No,
Teresa?
not Amazon. It's on the website right now.
It's on the website. Okay. And then Lady Kim, thank you for joining us. All right, you all. I'm gonna let you go. I have to get up early in the morning and teach over in Kenya in the morning. Pastor Okimwa, I'm glad you're here with us tonight. And I'm gonna be so honored to be with your ministry on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock a.m. Whoa, which is 3 o'clock their time. 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock is one of them. All right. So, all right, we're going to get ready to go. And God bless all of you for joining us. But do come again, for we will do you good. The mission of Dr. C. Rochelle Ministries is to uplift, motivate, encourage, and inspire others to live their best lives.